All right, so I just got back from watching Lisa Frankenstein, the latest release this weekend, being advertised as a horror comedy. And comedy it is, but it is very light on the horror. But I think when you look at the poster and you look at the title, and if you watch the trailer, you already know this is going to be more of a comedy and not so much a horror. But anyway, knowing that, and if you're prepared for a comedy, I think that it's quite possible that you'll have a pretty good time with this movie. It's nothing special. I feel like everything this movie does has been done better before, but it's also not egregious in anything that it does. It doesn't do anything terribly. The best part about this movie, in my humble opinion, is the set design, the aesthetic. I just loved how much pop the colors had in this movie. It's a very pretty movie, in my opinion, just very aesthetically pleasing. The pinks and greens, especially, really pop there on the screen. And I'm also just slightly biased because I'm a big fan of that whole gothic look and that gothic vibe. And this movie combines that with the 80s aesthetic, which I enjoy. Although the whole 80s nostalgia thing has been kind of played out by now, in my opinion. I honestly think that people just, even if you weren't around in the 80s, you're nostalgic for this decade that you never existed in. Um, Maybe that's why 80s nostalgia has stuck around so long. I don't know. But it was a nice blend of the 80s vibe and the gothic vibe, putting them together. It was cool. Um, the performances by everybody all around are all really good. People really nail it. Catherine Newton is really good as the lead in this movie. I did not think she was very good in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but I know she's been good in other stuff, and she's good in this, so I chalk that up to the script. But she's good here. Cole Sprouse, who I know can be a bit of a polarizing figure, he's actually pretty good in this movie as our creature character. He doesn't have very many lines of dialogue, and he does a pretty good job of emoting with his face and with his body. It's pretty entertaining to watch. And Carla, I'm gonna butcher her last name, but Carla Guingro, I believe her name. She's in a bunch of stuff. She's in the Night Museum movies. She's in The Fall of the House of Usher. She's been in a bunch of stuff, but she's delightfully campy in this movie, and even though she has a limited amount of screen time, she eats up the screen, and she's a lot of fun to watch in this movie. There's other performances as well, like the stepsister in this movie. I forget the actress's name, but hopefully this is a breakout role for her because she's really good in this movie. She takes a character that is kind of cliche and makes this character very sympathetic due to her performance. So I hopefully there's good things ahead for her because she made this role really good. But yeah, other than that, plot wise and story and character wise, this movie doesn't really offer that much. There are a couple of good laughs here and there. I chuckled quite a bit for certain parts, especially the parts where we see how the creature gets his different body parts are pretty funny. But beyond that, it's just adequate. Not necessarily a movie that I would rush to see again or am dying to watch again, but I'm not mad that I saw it or anything like that. It's a decent movie, non-offensive really. Just it's kind of there. I think it might develop a bit of a cult following, but it's kind of hard to predict these things. Who knows? But yeah, if you got nothing better to do and it's Valentine's Day, you want to see a romantic movie, then you can definitely do worse than Lisa Frankenstein. So if any of this intrigues you, go ahead and check it out.